American drivers are entering uncharted territory. Analysts say this is the first year gas prices reached $4 a gallon in two separate surges, once in the spring and again right now. And it's not just drivers feeling the pain of these fuel prices. Kent is here to explain.
Yeah, that's right, Jana. Diesel has been climbing even faster than gas during this second surge, and that raises concerns about inflation for all kinds of transported goods. Add the two together and you get one of the most volatile summers in memory, despite the fact that we are driving less than analysts expected right now.
In fact, it has probably less to do with supply and demand and more to do with geopolitical tensions, and those are just unpredictable.
Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis for GasBuddy, says the most obvious factor is the U.S. war with Iran, which erupted again in recent days, slowing shipping in the Strait of Hormuz to a standstill. But he says Ukraine's recent attacks on Russian oil refineries has also taken a major toll, especially on diesel prices.
Russia tends to produce 1 out of 9 barrels of diesel globally. So when suddenly that number falls to 1 out of 15 because the refineries are down, that means there's not enough diesel in the market.
Now, here's something else about that global refinery crunch. It's also driving up the cost of jet fuel. And while that's a concern for airfare prices going up, at MSP, it's not even the biggest concern right now.
If there's one thing that is most important for better airfare prices, it's competition. If there are two things that drive those prices lower, it's competition and supply and demand. And we have less of all of them now in Minneapolis, and that is not good for travelers.
Kyle Potter, editor of the Thrifty Traveler, says airfares at MSP have increased 36% in the past 2 years, more than any other top 20 airport. In that time, he says several airlines have discontinued flights or stopped flying completely, and that's led to a lot less capacity. While Delta and its partners have increased the miles they fly per seat since 2024, all other carriers have combined to lose nearly 20%.
Seeing this number next to Sun Country, that they're down nearly a quarter of what they were this time in 2024, is absolutely shocking because, again, this was an airline that felt like it just could not stop growing in Minneapolis and was really boldly pressuring Delta to compete on price. There's just nobody pressuring Delta to the same extent in order to lower fares.
And Jana, Kyle says it's simply hard for those airlines to get a foothold against Delta when there's so much loyalty in this market.
Well, it makes sense. It's just not good, I guess, for our dollars and cents. Thanks so much, Kent.